Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be modifying our mortgage calculator spreadsheet to add a bunch more calculations to it to help us do some estimates, mainly around the idea of how much house can we afford. So when we know our monthly or we know our income for the year, how does that translate into how much house I can buy? So we'll do those calculations today so we have that estimate. When you go to buy a house in the future, you can open up this document and actually use it to help you make some decisions about the way you want to live your life. So let's get started. First thing, you need to find this document that we created earlier. If you didn't finish it or don't have it for whatever reason, more than welcome to use my version of it that I've attached this assignment. You have to make your own copy of it, put it into your Google Drive somewhere, and then edit that and turn it in. I know it says don't turn this in, but you can turn it in for this assignment, but not for the mortgage calculator assignment. Okay, hopefully that's clear. Better yet, if you finished this from before, use your version of it so that you have everything in one place, and when you go to do something, you'll know where to find it. All right, let's get started. So down below here, below the monthly payment breakdown, we're actually going to add some stuff to the monthly payment breakdown real quick. So in this column over here, I'm going to add the title here, interest to date. And what to date means is for that period up until like where you are in time. So it's all the things that have happened since then. So usually it's year to date, which means like all of your pay or all of your taxes since January of that year. This one we're going to use a little differently than that, but it's the same idea. And this one's going to be principal to date. So basically in here, we're going to keep track of how much interest and principal we've paid up to the date of this, which is the 1 year mark. So we're going to total up all the interest we pay in the first year and put it here, all the interest we pay in all the first 5 years and put it here, the first 10 years and put it here, and we can watch how the interest builds up over time. That'll help us when we go to think about things like refinancing. All right, to do that, I'm going to click in this cell here, which is for me I-22, and I want to add up all the interest for the first year. So that's not too bad. It's this. So I'm going to, over here in this cell, I'm going to do equals, and then sum with parentheses. Remember, sum means add everything together that's in here. And then instead of trying to type stuff, I'm going to come over here and just grab the first 12 months. So month 1 through month 12. I'm going to do a closing parenthesis and hit enter. And that gave me $32,000. So that's pretty awesome. And now I need to do it for the first 5 years. And if I look down here at the first 5 years, that's month 60. 5 times 12 is 60. I can come down here and find that it is going to be row 63. And if I look at the pattern here, I'm at 15. Right now was the last row I included. And I want to go down, oh no, actually it's even better. 63. I want to go down to row 63 from 4. So in this next one, that might be a little confusing what I'm talking about right now. So what I'm trying to do is not have to highlight all the cells all the time because that can be a nuisance. So if I notice here that this was C4 was my start and C15 was my end. So 12 plus 4 would be 16. So, but this is one less than that. So I can use that pattern going ahead. So here I'm going to go equals to the sum, and I'm going to start with C4 again, because that's still my starting month, and colon to set a range, and I'm going to go down to C. Now if I add 5 years is 60 months, if I add that to it, I should get 68. Wait, 60 months plus 4 is 64. But I want one less than that because that's the pattern, and then 63. So C63. Enter. All right, so that's that cell, and that's how much I do for the entire 5 years. Now in this one, I want the entire first 10 years, which is just 5 years more than that one, so 60 more months than this. So I'm just going to add 60 to the C63 part. All right, so I'm going to go equals sum. Now don't take the shortcut of dragging this down. You can see what happens. Oh. It turned the C4 into a C5. So make sure you don't just drag down the cell. You've got to type it in each time. All right, so equals the sum of C4 colon, which means the range of numbers, and then C123, which is 60 more than the last one, which is C63. And these are 5-year increments, so I'm just going to keep adding 60. So this was 123, and the next one's 183. So equals the sum of C4 colon C183. Enter. And so in the first 15 years, I'll have paid $435,000 of interest, which is insane. All right, the next one, let's see, this one was 183, so 60 plus that is 243. So I'm going to say equals the sum, parentheses, of C4 colon C243. Whoops, except I mistyped an extra little symbol. Awesome. And then this is equals, so whoops. Let's take a look at this one. 243, 60 more is 303. So I'm looking at equals the sum of C4 colon 303. Oops, sorry, C303, enter, nice, working. And then the last one equals the sum of C4 colon C363. Except I put quotation mark for some reason. Wrong button. Okay, got it. Enter. Awesome. And notice here that it's a huge amount of interest. In my first, say, 5 years to 10 years, I'm paying another $150,000 of interest in that 5-year period. It goes up by that much. But down here, I'm only going up by $40,000 from the year 25 to year 30. You pay less interest as you go through time, which is kind of a cool thing to figure out. Now, these are the same calculations except over in this column. So what we can do here is just highlight all of these and drag that formula to the right. And you'll notice what it does right away is it changed all the C's to a D because I copied the formula to the right. It shifts the letters one way to the right, which is this way. And then I'm just going to do this and merge these cells all across here. And that's what it does. So in my first year of making payments, I pay $32,000 of interest and only $4,000 of principal reduction on my thing, which is absolutely crazy to think of that. I mean, it makes sense because you have a ton of money from the bank. And then in my last year, well, it's hard to tell. I'm paying about $40,000 of interest in my last 5 years, but I'm paying $150,000, it looks like, about in principal. So I pay a ton of principal off at the end and a ton of interest at the beginning. It's just the way it works. All right, let's leave it there for this video. We'll come back and finish up the rest of the calculations in the next ones.